It's your girl Nisi here with Wild Pear Tarot. Thanks so much for tuning in to my YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm a light worker, an alchemist, and a tarot and oracle reader that specializes in celebrity readings, pick-a-pile messages, and channeled messages for the collective. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And thanks so much for tuning in. Also, I accept tips. That information will be in the description box below, but tips go a long way, y'all. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for all who's contributed thus far. So please send me tips. It helps to create more content for you guys. All right, we're gonna get started. I decided to continue on with pick-a-pile messages. I feel like this is a season for them, and I'm being led to do more of these type of readings right now. Not that we won't get back to the celebrity readings. We definitely will. But this particular reading is our money aura reading, okay? So this is a timeless reading, meaning at any point in time that you happen to see this reading, it may be a sign for you to stop and watch and just listen in. And this is for those who may be needing some advice, some insight, some help, some preparation, and some wisdom when it comes to your money, your finances, your material things right now. All right, so I have 4 piles here, okay? Now, for those who aren't used to doing pick-a-pile messages, basically what you want to do is look at the 4 different piles that are in front of you. Pause the video if you need to. Take a few deep breaths, and then whichever pile or piles resonate with you the most intuitively, you want to pick that pile and see what the message is. And, you know, if it doesn't apply, let it fly, all right? So if this is not the reading for you, y'all can click off. I got plenty other videos, okay? But if this is, there's a message in here for you about your money, your finances, your material things. So let's get it started, y'all. Pile number 1 is our black obsidian crystal, okay? Pile number 1. Pile number 2 is our hematite crystal, pile number 2. Pile number 3 is our red jasper, okay? And then pile number 4 is our lapis lazuli, All right, so take a second, pause the video if you need to, and we'll see what your messages are. All right, y'all, if you chose pile number 1, you chose the black obsidian crystal. This is a very, really great crystal for protection, very powerful when it comes to healing, grounding, cleansing, and protection. So you can, carry this, put it on a bracelet, a necklace, use this stone for protective purposes and for cleansing. So cleansing your space, cleansing your auric field. So this is definitely suited for someone who may need to. A suggestion would be for those who chose pile number 1 already. I'm sensing you need to clean out your wallet. So clean out your purse, clean out your wallet, clean out anything that carries any kind of money, change, clean out your receipts, clean out old things that you have kind of stuck in the bottom of your purse or in the back of your wallet that you haven't cleaned out in a while. So this is definitely a sign to do that. But let's see what your cards say as far as your money aura reading. Okay, let's get into it. Space. All right, so you see space here came up, and it's so interesting that it is black, which matches your crystal. And this is definitely, again, you know, Spirit's saying for you to clean your space. It's time to clear out old things. It's time to clear out things that are no longer serving you. So when it comes to your money, maybe it almost seems like there's a void. There's some kind of void that Spirit is bringing up in regards to your finances. So if you feel like you are constantly losing money, if you feel like you are continuously feeling loss, some sort of financial or material loss, either you're losing things, you're in deep debt, you're struggling to regain money, a fortune, or just gambling, like doing certain things that are like high risk, and it's not giving you a return that you are looking for, or you've been investing into something and there's nothing filling up the space with the money that you are looking for right now. It's time to clear some stuff out. So it's time to clear spaces in your life, whether that be people, it might be habits, it might be attitudes. It's definitely, though, Spirit keeps showing me you gotta clean out the central location of where you keep your money. For some of you, I'm hearing wipe out. So some of you had to wipe out your savings. Some of you had to wipe out finances that you had saved and had to use up, unfortunately, to either do another investment or to pay off a bill that was unexpected. Like, there's been a lot of sacrifice, and you know, Spirit's saying this is something that's temporary, but it is time now to build up your protective forces, clean your areas where money is supposed to be abundant and prosperous, and that might be clean your home, clean your office space, whether you're working from home or you're back in the office. Clean both of those spaces top to bottom. Clear out your wallet, your purse, clear those things out, clean it. Find fresh, new things to put in your space so that things can start to grow again. Because right now it seems to be a blockage, a huge blockage. And again, Spirit said there's some sort of void here. And don't just fill the space. So there's something where people like to fill things. Hold on, let me drink some water. People like to fill things with stuff that make no sense. Like they have it's nonsense. They try to fill the space with things that they don't like. So don't just heed my word and be like, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta go, no. And you're just kind of like your mind is kind of like milling about and running about. What you need to do is come up with a plan. Take your time to clean your spaces out. Like, this is not going to be a rush thing. Like, this is not going to be a rush thing. Even though this is temporary, this is not the time to rush. It's the time to carefully plan, to carefully articulate and execute that plan, and to also be very mindful of what you're filling those spaces with. So when you clean out certain areas of your desk, some of those spaces don't need to be filled again. If you're replacing maybe like a dead plant that's in your office, find a plant that you enjoy, that you like, not some kind of arbitrary, meaningless thing to replace something just because it needs to be replaced. Be very mindful of what you replace and put in the space is what Spirit's saying. So just be very mindful of that. Pile number 1. Very interesting how this ties into the Black Obsidian. Let's see what else your cards are coming up with. Void of Course Moon. Wow. Spirit's really talking here. And let me bring this up so that you can see it. Hopefully you guys can see it. All right. So nothing will come of this situation. Yeah, this is saying that, I mean, this is very straightforward. Whatever y'all have been focused on financially, if it's, I keep thinking of an investment, there's something that this particular pile may have, y'all got in over y'all's heads. Y'all got in over y'all's heads and thought that you could create a massive amount of money and wealth by investing in something, and it didn't come out in the way that you had hoped, and now you are in a void. There's a lot of dark space, a lot of black space, a lot of emptiness right now. That doesn't mean that new things can't come in, but right now, this is not the time to do more of anything else. Like, this is a time for you to take a time out, to do some contemplation, and again, it's cleansing time. It's cleansing and rebuilding your protective fortresses, rebuilding your protective spaces. This is about also having to clean out spaces that have a lot of clutter. So, and this is tied to money. This is tied to your money. So, see what spaces in your life, whether it be physical or otherwise. So it may be a relationship that's providing a lot of clutter. And I'm not talking just romantic. It could be a business relationship. It could be a friendship. It could be a money partnership that's just not yielding or providing what you had hoped. And so it's time for you to take a step back and exit out of that situation. It also may be a sign that if you were considering investing in something, if you were considering making a money move, that this is not the time to do it. This is not the time, because nothing will come of the situation. So if you've been thinking about a stock that you want to invest in, if you've been thinking about moving your money from one account to the next, you've been thinking about borrowing from your 401k, you've been thinking about getting let me get a little personal loan, I need this right now. certain things, it could be any kind of money situation that you're considering doing, where either you have to borrow money, ask somebody else for money, whether you're about to invest some of your own money into something. I'm even picking up someone who is trying to put money aside for their kids' college. Now, do what you need to do, but Spirit's saying this is not the time to do it right now because it's not going to yield anything fruitful. So you have to do some decluttering and cleaning some stuff out before you get into a space of investment. This is not the time. Let's get into the next cards. All right. We have sugarcane, energy of the masculine, action, planning, focus. Okay, let me bring this up here so you can see it. Okay. All right, I'm gonna move this down here. All right, sugarcane, yes, this is the time for you to plan and focus. Sugarcane, I think of someone who's bold, who's ambitious, who has striking energy, who knows how to strike while the iron is hot. And right now, with the beginning of this reading, it's very much looking like this is not the time. So instead, you need to plan. You need to clear out and you need to plan. And this is very straightforward as far as the messages that are coming through for pile number 1. You need to focus your energy on planning and on focusing with what you have right now. Focus on what you have right now. And the places where there's obstacles, there's voids, there's a lot of space, it can be filled. It can be filled. This does seem to be a temporary situation and not a long-term one. But you have to follow a plan. I'm reiterating this a lot. You have to follow a plan, pile number 1. All right? And last 2 cards. We have Knight of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups. Okay? Let's pull these 2 cards up so you can see it. There's a little bit of glare here. All right. Things are going to be slow moving. Things are going to be slow moving when it comes to your money. All right. So be prepared for this. This Nine of Pentacles is definitely saying that things are going to be slow moving. You're going to have to be patient. But this is reiterating that a plan has to be in place, that nothing lasts forever. And that if you follow the plan, if you follow the path that's laid out for you to get out of whatever money, financial situation that you're in due time you will. I think a lot of times, given the culture of consumerism, the culture of capitalism, everything is a go, go, go. Everything's a move, move, move. Everything is, I gotta hurry this up. I gotta hurry this process along. I gotta see something. Things take time, right? You plant a seed, it can take months to germinate. You have to water it. You have to work it. And that's the same for you in this situation. I don't know much about planting sugarcane and growing sugarcane, but I believe this process takes some time. So I'd also look into how sugarcane is grown. I think there's something about the growth process that may be helpful to pile number 1. when it comes to your money and financial situation. But the Knight of Pentacles is saying to save your money, to reorient yourself, to make sure that you're aligned with the financial goals that you've set. But you got to have a plan. There's no way out of that. Pound number one. There's no way out of this situation if you don't have a plan in place. Okay? There's no way out of it. You have to have a plan in place. Pound number one. That's the only way you're gonna see things start to shift. 10 of Cups. This is about fulfillment. This is about unity, harmony. This is about connecting the dots, connecting everything. Everything has to be connected. And part of that plan is taking your time to collect all of the things that you need in order for it to be connected and unified and on one accord, on one page. You got to make sure you're on one accord with your plan. Make sure you're emotionally tuned in and tapped into the plan that you're setting financially. You know, a lot of us are struggling with sticking to a plan. I think a lot of us, for pound number one, I'm sensing it's easy to make a plan. It doesn't seem to be hard for you guys to do that. The problem is sticking to that plan, tuning in. It's like sometimes you forget along the way. You're like, okay, I'm going along, and then you're distracted by something else. Something else takes your focus away. And Spirit's saying you can't do that in this season. In this season, you have to be on one accord with your money goals. And you have to stick to the plan, the course of action, the path that you've chosen. You made your choice now. Stick with it. Stick to it. Be consistent. Be disciplined. Get an accountability partner if you need to. Emotionally invest in your family. That means family, friends, or people who, and when I say family, I don't always mean blood family, all right? I'm talking about the family that you consider family. Friends, it can be, anyone that you consider family. Pour into them. They're going to pour into you as well. Pour into them. Look to them. They're going to give you the sustenance that you need. And make sure, again, that you're on one accord when it comes to your money, your finances, all right? Work with these colors. As you can see, there's a lot of greens here. There's black. There's blues here, okay, is what I'm seeing. So work with some of these colors. Sugarcane may be something you need to work with or do some research on to help you in your finances. And black obsidian, definitely, if you can carry it in your purse, in your wallet, get a small piece, crumpled up pieces if you can, carry it in your pocket. Just, this is for protection. So, pound number one, all right? This message is for you. Please comment below. Those that chose pile number one, if you could send a black heart as a response that you chose pile number one, and let me know your feedback if this resonated with you or not, all right? Let's go on to pile number two. All right, pile number two. If you chose pile number two, welcome. This is your reading. You chose the hematite crystal. This is such a beautiful silvery crystal, known as the magnet crystal, if I'm not mistaken. This is also a protective stone. This is very much can be used to grounding yourself, to building your self-confidence, to really girding yourself when it comes to the hope and the outlook that you have that's very positive and uplifting. It helps you to cement yourself in that truth, into the truth of positivity and being hopeful, and just strengthening yourself, having the inner strength, or even, finding the physical strength or the outer strength, or leaning on other people for their strength, right? So this is a really great crystal, pile number 2. Let's tune in here and see what the cards say about your money aura and where you're at. Okay. So we have mystery. Okay? All right. So things are a bit of a wild card for you, pile number 2. You seem a bit lost about how to go about things. Part of, I think, being in the mystery is that you don't know what's going to happen. You don't have all the answers. You don't have control over the situation. And a lot of things seem to be up in the air. I'm getting that there is some level of stability and some grounding, but it is something more that you need. Like, it seems to be something that you need more of. There's, what Spirit's more so telling me is that there's instability with your finances. You have financial instability. There's not much grounding. You don't know what's up, what's down. Things coming and going. You don't have a handle on your money in the ways that you need to. And everything's just kind of up in the air. You don't have any kind of, it's like you're not on any kind of particular path. That's what it is. You're not on any kind of particular path. You're just like, well, I'm just going with the flow. I'm winging it. Whatever happens, happens. I'm still going to pay my bills. I'm still going to do my thing. But I don't really have anything kind of really saved like that. I don't really have all my ducks in a row. But, life happens and I'm just going to roll with it when it comes. You kind of have that type of outlook is what I'm getting. There is, I am also sensing for some of you, I'm picking up, for some of you, there is some issues of control, and you're also not sure of what may come of the future, and so you're just like, I'm trying to get a handle on everything before, almost like you feel like something is getting ready to collapse, and you're like, I gotta get a handle on it before it collapses. And I feel like if you have that outlook, something is gonna collapse, right? Like, if you keep having the outlook of like, oh well, this is gonna pop off eventually, then it is gonna pop off eventually. I mean, that type of thinking and perception does lead to some of that energy seeping in, that doubt. I think that's part of like the instability. It's like there's a lot of doubt. You're not really fully cemented in your thinking, in your inner strength. You're not cemented in that. It's a lot of, I'm just getting a lot of swaying, and it's almost like you're trying to have control of certain things, but you don't have control of everything, and you're just very uncertain. It's like, I just keep getting there's uncertainty, and that's probably why I can't fully articulate what's coming through, and I think that's the energy of pile number 2. It's like you can't quite, you can't quite put your finger on what the problem is, because there seems to be a lot of back and forth and a lot of uncertainty and a lot of things that just aren't fully fleshed out. And this is with your money, y'all. So there's certain things that are like you want to do but you haven't done. You're putting a little bit of money here, a little bit of money there. You're buying this, you're buying that, but it's not materializing into anything else. Like, it just seems like you have your hands in a lot of things and you're not sure about any of it. You're just like, I'm just gonna see what works. I don't know. I'm just gonna see what works. And instead of it being more targeted and more directed, and so there's instability here. I'm just sensing there's like a lot of instability with pile number 2. You're not sure kind of what's up, what's down. You are good enough. So full moon in Virgo, okay? Let's get into the full moon, y'all, because full moons are definitely for clearing. Full moons are definitely for clearing things out. So if you see a full moon, okay? If you see a full moon, it's definitely a sign that some things need to move through and move out. Uncertainty. So there's a lot of stereotypes with different astro signs. Virgos, they're known for being perfectionists, wanting everything to be a certain way, and they're known to be highly critical and highly doubtful, and some of that energy though is seeping in a little bit, because again, there's like a lack of balance, and so there needs to be some sorting out of what's what. You need to sort out what's what in your financial matters. What's what? What's going where and why? Do you need to be spending money here? And if not, just take it away. Like, just remove it. If this is something that you really, really want, or is it something that you're just doing it as like an automatic thing? It's just automatic. And it's habitual. And if it is it detrimental to you, to your financial growth, to your financial movement? And if it isn't, are you okay with just continuing with what you got going on? Be mindful of that. For pile number 2. Pile number 2, I'm getting like flashy. Something about pile number 2 that likes to be a bit flashy. Like, y'all like to spend money on really nice things. Flashy jewelry, flashy. You like all the flashy, okay? And that's all well and good. But financially, you may need to be mindful of that. Like, maybe you only need 1 or 2 flashy pieces. And you need to get rid of the rest, sell the rest. It's what Spirit's saying. Like, for some of y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all like the flashiness. Y'all like the watches, the clothes, the cars, the jewelry, just flashy, the flashy teeth, the sunglasses. Like, some of y'all are very much into that type of energy and lifestyle. And like Spirit said, it's all well and good, but in this season right now, because you're not stable, because things are a bit up in the air right now, and you have a lot of doubts, you're not confident right now in your finances, it's time to drop the act, and it's time to really get clear and more serious about your money and your money moves. And some of those flashy pieces, Spirit saying some of those flashy pieces need to be sold. You need to sell them. That's what Spirit's saying about that. I'm gonna move on. Okay. The Fort. Isolation, loneliness, and the consequence of arrogance. Okay. Oh man, Spirit be confirming all the time. So the Fort, we got the Fort, okay? And yeah, I mean, this is a sign for you that there's gonna be a consequence for the arrogance that you continue to portray. Some of y'all, this is not for all of y'all, but this is for some of y'all. If y'all are being financially arrogant in overspending, some of y'all are overspending. Some of y'all are into the gaudy stuff, into the flashy stuff, into the expensive, the very expensive stuff. And it's different if you're investing in one or two pieces for yourself. But if you are overspending to fit some mold, to fit in with the in crowd, or however you want to call it, there's consequences up ahead for doing this. So again, pile 2, I'm getting like there's financial instability here. You gotta get stable, and you gotta figure some things out. So it's time for you to get some things in order. There may be a period of isolation and loneliness where you might not have the money that you need at the time that you need it. Or there's going to be consequences for you overspending and you being financially arrogant and financially acting like you got it all together. You know what you're doing. I don't need nobody. I don't need to talk to nobody. Like, I don't need nobody's help. That kind of arrogance will land you in a world full of trouble, in a world full of me, myself, and I, and not a good way. So pile number 2, work this out. Let's see what else is coming through. We got 2 of Swords. Let me move this on down. Ooh, yep. Oh man, interesting. It's so interesting how Spirit confirms stuff. So we got the 2 of Swords in the reverse and the Strength card. Let's pull these cards up for you guys to see it. Okay. All right. 2 of Swords in the reverse. To me, it's looking like you are overwhelmed by not only just the options laid out for you, but you're overwhelmed by a lot of things that are happening financially, and you're not sure what to do. Again, this is from what I had mentioned earlier. There's a lot of instability. 2 of Swords is definitely alluding to this instability where you have choices that you have to make, but you feel overwhelmed and overloaded by all of the different choices, all of the different things that you've been doing that haven't really been working. And so you really need to slow things down. You really need to, I think, you know what this is reminding me of? Some of y'all, wow. Some of y'all are experiencing information overload. Y'all are being bombarded with information, with messaging, podcasts. You listen to endless podcasts. You're watching the news. You're watching, you know, all these different, I'm thinking of like CNET. Like, you're watching all these different shows and looking at podcasts and sign up for newsletters. It's like, for some of y'all, I'm getting the overload is from the information that's coming in. Like, y'all are looking at so much shit about your money, about your finances. Some of y'all are obsessed with your finances. I'm getting an obsession here. Like, people are just like, I'm looking at my account every hour to see if there's a change. Like, I'm looking at my accounts. You know, it's just, there's a frazzledness, there's a rattleness here. Like, I'm just getting this, like, my hands moving a lot because it's like there's just a rattleness, a franticness. Like, mentally you're overloading. You have so much going on with your money. It's not clear about where your money's going, why, how. You haven't like pulled back on certain things that you need to pull back from. And now is the time. You gotta have some more self-control. Now's the time to really start to get to the root of that, get to the bottom of that with this strength card here. Get to the root of that, get to the bottom of that, and figure out what you can do better. This is about improvement. You got to improve your money situation. This is about improving your money situation. This is not the time to continue down a path of being arrogant and overly confident and acting like you have it all together when you really don't. Some of y'all are obsessed with your money to the point where you can't relax. And some of y'all are putting up a front. Some of y'all are acting like you're well off and doing well and overspending when you should really be surveying everything that you're doing right now financially. So pound number 2, there's a lot going on, and that's probably why I picked up on like 3 different lanes here. But for some of y'all, it crosses all 3. Like, maybe some of y'all are like obsessed with your savings account or your 401k account or like your stocks. And some of y'all are like obsessed with like every single cent that comes in from your paycheck. You're trying to figure out where it's gonna go. And it's like, it's some of y'all are just overspending on trying to play a role, trying to play a part that does not fit you. And it's just a lot of mess. It's a lot of disarray. It's a lot of franticness. And you gotta clean this shit up, is what Spirit's saying. And what I'm saying too, you gotta clean this shit up. Like, this is not clear. This is not clear. You need to get clarity. Part of that is tapping into your inner strength. The strength card, that's where you need to be at. You need to start looking at yourself. You need to start thinking about your impulsivity. You need to start figuring out how you're going to approach your financial problems, financial things in a better way. And you need to like rework some things, rework this out, but clean this shit up is what Spirit's saying for pound number 2. This is a mess. y'all not clear on what you're doing, why, and where you're going, and why. And a lot of this is in the habits that you have formed. A lot of this is in the appearances that you're trying to keep up. A lot of this is in trauma that you have around money and losing it, fear of losing it, and you gotta work through this. So work through it. Pile number 2. All right. If you liked this reading, pile number 2, I'd love to get your feedback. Please reply in the comments below. Give me a white heart, y'all. Give me a white heart, okay? A white heart for y'all, all right? Or a purple one. I'm getting a lot of purple here. All right. Let's move on to pile number 3. Hey, pile number 3. All right, if you chose pile number 3, welcome. This is your reading. So you chose the red jasper crystal, and this is a really beautiful red jasper, right? So this is usually, I usually associate this crystal with the root chakra. So this is definitely a grounding stone. This is to get your ass, together, okay? I see this crystal is really getting your ass together and just going through a process of like re-energizing. Also reevaluation is coming up as well. This is about strengthening the energy around you, your energy field. This is about stabilizing and balancing your energy. Again, this is connected to the root. So really enhancing your life, enhancing things that are blossoming well in your life. So this is also a really soothing stone, a really gentle stone. So I'm seeing really good energy from this pile number 3. But definitely work this. Use this in like your grounding meditations. Really powerful crystal to use. All right, let's see what messages are coming through for you, pile number 3. All right, frustration. Yep, I'm upset. Okay, Drake. I'm upset. As you should be. This is a very deep orange, like a brown orange, which is very interesting. Spirit is so amazing, y'all. Oh my gosh. So there's something, man, Spirit saying pile number 3. Oh Lord, okay. I feel like for some of you, pile number 3, you went through an earth-shattering experience. Like Spirit says, earth-shattering, and you are just devastated and just full-blown angry and just in pain, and you are not getting to where you want to go. Do you see this card here? So you see how there is a circle, a hole of a circle, and there's a rectangle peg. Like that's it's the whole premise of like trying to fit a square peg in a circle. It doesn't fit. It doesn't work. And whatever it is that pile number 3 has been trying to accomplish financially, no dice, no bueno, no dice, man. Like it's there's a lot of disappointments financially that I'm picking up on. Like again, It could be loss. It could be frustration that your money's not coming correct. Like, and that can mean you were supposed to get paid this Friday, but you didn't get paid, and you're wondering when you're gonna get paid and you haven't got paid yet. It could be those type of like stalling. It could be frustration over you're expecting picking up, for some of y'all, child support. Some of y'all are waiting on child support money and you're not seeing it, and you're wondering like what the holdup is. You're frustrated by the lack of consistency. It's the inconsistency. There's something here with, there's financial inconsistency for some of y'all, and you're wondering like, when is there just going to be some consistency with my money? When, because it's like you need dependability. You need dependability in your finances, and it doesn't seem to be that way. Some of y'all have odd jobs, so sometimes you get money, there's a gap of employment, then you find you find work again. Like, I'm picking up, there's just a lot of inconsistency with money, and so there's frustration and anger around when are things just gonna be okay, where I can like have stability, have rest, be like, okay, I know that on this date my money's coming in my account, or on this date this person's gonna pay me like they said they would, or I'm supposed to be getting a payout on this date, you know. So there's definitely frustration, and there's some impatience, but I think for some of y'all, like, y'all feel like y'all been waiting and things have not been coming to fruition. This is a time for you to start thinking about alternatives, thinking about alternative solutions. What else can you do? And if there's nothing that you can do, Spirit's saying to be quiet. Which is really interesting, but it's like Spirit's saying if you feel like you haven't come up with an alternative solution, or other people have tried to help you and it hasn't worked, and you're still angry and you're still frustrated, Spirit's saying be quiet. Don't speak on the matter anymore. Don't speak on the matter anymore. Spirit's saying, don't speak on the matter anymore. If you tried all that you could try in this situation and things have not resolved itself, stop talking about it. Don't talk about it anymore. It's almost like you're feeding the energy with the anger. So Spirit's saying, don't talk about it anymore. All right? Let's see what else Spirit has to say. Pile number 3. Expect powerful change. Okay. New moon eclipse. A new moon eclipse. Okay. Pile number 3, you're not aware of. There's something happening that you're not aware of, but something's going on behind the scenes here. And you're being prepared for a new iteration of money that's coming in. A new iteration of money that's coming in. It's going to be, even though it's saying expect powerful change, when that change is going to start to show itself, it might be unexpected. This is a turning point. This is a crossroads moment. There is change happening, and you need the courage and the grounding to prepare your mind, your body, your spirit for what is next. It's almost like you're going through it's almost like you're going through a rebirth. You're going through a rebirth, and the eclipse is like shielding that these changes that are supposed to spring forth. So just be mindful of that, pile number 3. There is some sort of turning point. You need to focus on the future. Things right now may be really crazy and uncomfortable, but there are new directions and new paths being laid out for you to take. I think that's why Spirit's saying you're coming to a crossroads. You're coming to something that's going to start to shift and switch. So be mindful of that and be prepared. For some of y'all might not be prepared for it. But for some of y'all, be prepared. The Cutlass. A warning of danger, accidents, or hasty decisions. So, if y'all see this here, the Cutlass, okay? Now, this is in Caribbean culture, okay? Cutlass is protection, but it's also, as it says here, it's to take the warning for what it is. Do not make any hasty financial decisions right now. Do not make any hasty financial decisions right now. Do not make any hasty financial decisions right now. Pile number 3. I know you're frustrated, you're going through some problems, but things are supposed to be turning around. So this is a warning. Some of y'all may try to do something out of your frustration, out of your anger, out of your impatience that may set you back, that may open you up to a dangerous situation, financially dangerous situation, a financially high risk situation, a situation that may cause an accident, a problem, a setback. You don't want that right now. Not when things are supposed to be turning in your direction. So be very mindful of the financial choices that you're making at this point in time. Pile number 3. Things are going to be moving in a positive direction for you. The change that you want to see happen with your money, your savings, your job, anything that's connected to your material wealth, your material possessions. Things are going to start shifting positively, powerfully. But heed the warning with this Cutlass. Don't get your ass tore up. Okay? Don't get your ass tore up with this Cutlass. Alright? Okay, pile number 3. I'm letting y'all know. Don't fuck with this. And that's that on that. Alright? Let's get to the last 2 cards here. Okay? We got 4 of Cups in the reverse. And the 3 of Pentacles. Let's pull this up here so you can see it. All right. I feel like some of y'all have abandoned principles. I don't know why Spirit's saying that, but some of y'all have just abandoned principles, and y'all don't give a, like, what is this? I'm just like, whoa, what? Yeah. Some of y'all are just abandoning principles to try to get to the bag and try to get to, like, these financial opportunities, and a lot of things are passing you by because you don't have principle. Pile number 3, y'all need to be working with the right people. Y'all need to be working with the right people on this. With this 3 of Pentacles, you should be working with the right people. Excuse me. You need to be finding mentors, investors. You need to be collaborating. You need to be finding other people who maybe in a similar situation are fighting a similar fight. And see what perspectives and skills that they can bring to the table to help you get out of your situation. You need help. Spirit's saying you need help. So you need to lean on other people for support. Other people that may be higher than you, in I would say in the financial sense, just in terms of like they have things a little bit more together, more coordinated, more organized, and you need to get on that wave, and so you need to follow them. You know, it may be tied to a podcast or someone who knows, like, has a financial know-how, but you can find a team who has the talent and the skills and the energy to help you to learn and grow and get to where you want to be financially. There's people out there. You need to find them through your friends, through your business, through aunties, uncles, cousins, brothers, sister, mom, dad, like look in your community. Look in your community, pile number 3, and you're gonna find the people that you need. I think some of y'all are also frustrated because, remember what I said earlier about some of y'all were looking into alternatives. There's a few of y'all that only want to follow one way, one path, one very narrow view. It's keeping you from the array of people that are out there. It's keeping you from the array of perspectives and ideas that are out there. You're closed off because you're only thinking in one point of view, one line, one path. And, as I mentioned earlier, you're coming to a crossroads. You're coming to a point where there's going to be new paths laid out to you. And you have to be able to envision that. You have to be able to see that. You have to be able to see that there's more options for me than what I've always taken, what I've always chosen. Pile number 3, like, y'all gotta get out of that head space. Y'all gotta get out of that heart space too. With the cups here, it's very much giving like, this is all I know, and so this is what I'm gonna do. And Spirit saying, how can you grow? How can you change? How can you learn if you're always doing the same thing over and over and over again, and it's not working, it's not yielding, it's yielding frustration. That's what you're getting. You're getting frustration. You trying to fit a square peg through a round hole, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And so for some of y'all need to just accept that this is not working. Accept that financially, whatever plan you had in place is not working. It's not working. But there's an opportunity to change. There's an opportunity to circumvent and create something new and turn over a new leaf, turn something new together, put a team together, find the people you need. Like, you have options, you have solutions here, you have paths here, you have solutions here. You gotta see it, you gotta open your heart to receive it, to see it, to accept it, and then to start to do the work to find the people you need, to find the community you need. That's it for pile number 3. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Please comment below with a red heart. I'd love to get your feedback. All right. Hope you enjoyed this reading, pile number 3. We're moving on to pile number 4. Hey, pile number 4. All right. If you chose pile number 4, welcome. This is your reading. You chose the beautiful lapis lazuli. This is such a dramatic crystal, right? But a beautiful one. This is a powerful crystal. Really taps into the third eye, the crown chakras. This is about connectivity. This is about helping you to be more courageous. It also helps with the mind. So the mind and soul connection. It helps with the throat as well, for you to speak your truth, speak your mind. It also is about awareness of purpose, and I think it's such an important stone, an important crystal that very much promotes courage and strength, and also your ability. So believing it first, it really plays a role in your belief, right? So bolstering that, making sure your belief is not imposing on others, and doesn't hinder others or yourself, but is strengthened and rooted in truth. All right, so let's move forward and see what your reading entails. All right, first card, hunger. Hunger, interesting. Pile number 4, hunger. Let's talk about it. Y'all are wanting something more than just finance, more than just the money. Now, some of y'all also just want the money. Like, let's be real. I think there's a hunger for more. There's a hunger for more. There's hunger as in there's a drive, there is a push, there is a wanting and a feeling of pursuit for more, for something higher, for something more elevated, for greater. And this is such a powerful time for pile number 4, because you gotta hold on to this and tap into this in this season as you're going through. I'm getting there's gonna be some ups and downs here, but you gotta maintain this throughout. And it also seems like pile number 4, y'all have a bigger why. And let me break that down a little bit. It just means that the purpose behind you pursuing more money, the purpose behind you gaining more abundance or financial wealth, there's a bigger why to it, there's a bigger purpose behind it, and you're trying to make sure that you're in alignment. Like, I feel like pile number 4, y'all are really about alignment and making sure that, like, all ducks are in a row, things are where they're supposed to be at, but you're always maintaining that, like, I'm pursuing this, and I know why. I have my why, I have my big why, and it's grander than you thought possible. And then some of you may be in a space where you're asking that question, where you know you want more, you know you want something else. You might not have pinpointed it yet, but you're still trying to work through it. But you know that it's there. So you're trying to get more clarity. Yellow's a great color for that, y'all. Get you a yellow candle for some of y'all who want more clarity on your finances, on the big why, on the larger picture and understanding. Do some journal prompts, Spirit saying, about that, and figure out why you're pursuing what you're pursuing. New moon in Virgo. It's a time to give rather than take. Very interesting. Very interesting for this pile. This is about getting organized. This is about making some new commitments or recommitting to things that you already had in place and maybe it got away from you. It's about figuring out where you want to go. Now that you know you want something more, again, as I stated here, it's figuring out where you want to go next. What is next for you? This is also about service, right? So I feel like part of getting to the big why and the understanding is also looking at how you can help other people. Some of y'all need to invest in others, in being of service to other people. Some of y'all need to see, how can I help other people right now in their financial situation? Now, it may not necessarily be you can have someone borrow money from you or giving your money away. Could be offering advice on how you got to where you got to. Could be offering a class. It could be having a conversation with family, like, or with your best friend, and they're like, man, I'm trying to get out of debt, and you're like, oh, you know, this is what I did. You know, it could be these very simple things, but some of y'all, this is also not a time to just take from other people like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, to take and not replenish, to take and not restore is like, that's not going to be helpful to you when you are like, oh, here's what Spirit's saying. Spirit's saying, like, don't get to a point where your eyes are bigger than your stomach. Don't get to that point, okay? Where your eyes are bigger than your stomach. So be very mindful of that. You can have a hunger and a yearning and a want for something bigger, something grander, something greater, but not to the point where it has to be manageable. It has to be manageable. It has to be where you're not taking more than you're giving. There has to be a balance here. And so you have to be very mindful of that, Pile 4. It doesn't take away from what you want. It's just you having a balance, you managing it. There's an appropriateness here. So just be aware of that, pile number 4. The yam fields, community, teamwork, and networking. This is going to be part of you getting to your bigger why. It's how you're talking to people. It's who's in your community, the community that you're a part of. It's talking to the right people, networking, and it's also service. It's being of service to others, teamwork. It's not all about you. That's going to be part of your bigger why. Tie this into your bigger why. Community, teamwork, networking. It's not just going to be about you and the success that you want to garner for yourself. The bigger why has to tie into a larger group of people, a community of people, people that you're tied to, that you're connected with, that you have an investment in, just as much as they have an investment to you. This is about service. So when you're thinking about expansion, community has to be involved. When you're thinking about expansion, pile number 4, community has to be involved. When you're thinking about expansion, pile number 4, community has to be involved. Last 2 cards, we have the Knight of Swords and the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. All right, let's pull these 2 cards up so you can see. Let's see here. Don't get too hasty, y'all. This is not the time to be hasty. I'm telling you, you move too quick, everything will fall apart. You cannot rush this. The time that it's going to take for you to fully formulate and understand and articulate your big why you're pursuing something bigger and larger, is going to take time. And this is not to rush the project. Stay on top of it though. Stay on top of you seeking mental clarity. You be in that pursuit, right? Be in that pursuit. Stay focused on that. But as far as action on, you got to figure out the purpose and the why. Then you can figure out the where and the how. And if you try to move before you figure out the why, it's going to blow up in your face. This is a warning. 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. 10 of Pentacles in the reverse is things falling apart. It's everything that you put together and fortified. It's a breakdown. It's loss. It's ruin. It is it could mean blockages, it could mean like, but it could also mean like with the 10 of Pentacles, it means that it's a failure, or failures coming up ahead because the foundation wasn't built well. It means that the things that you put in place weren't fully fleshed out, didn't have strong backing, strong support. Like, so this seems to be like, for pile number 4, you must be thinking of a bigger project, or like, I'm that's what I'm thinking of. But it could also be just like you wanting to expand in different ways. You want to move from an apartment to a house. You want to expand your family. You want to, you know, it could be, oh, I want to get a pet, or I want to have another child, or I want to have my first child, or it could be, I want to get a couch. Like, it could be something as very, very grand as like a whole ass life change, or it could be as a bit smaller as like, yo, I want to renovate, you know, a section of my house, or I need a new desk. Like, or man, I just want to make more money. Like, that could be it too. But it's really about figuring out that bigger why. It's about making sure that subconsciously, because swords is mental, making sure you are not doubting yourself, making sure that you trust yourself, trust your intuition. This is part of this, the crown and the third eye. It's like knowing and seeing ahead and like planning and like looking at the bigger picture, being able to see that. You got to see it first. You got to visualize it first. You have to even articulate it first before you move. Otherwise, it's going to be a shit show. Otherwise, it's going to be like, damn, like destruction. And everything that you worked for to try to get to this next step, it can like crash because you didn't take the time to figure out the why, and then the how and the where and all those things. Like, you didn't answer those questions. You're just leaping because of some yearning and hunger that you have, and or as I mentioned before, your eyes are bigger than your stomach. You want something that's way more massive that you're not ready for. You're not ready to take on. You don't have the backing. You don't have the people. You don't have the support. So figure this out first. Figure this out. Then look to your community for support. Give, be in service. Think through it. Don't be so hasty. Don't move too quick. But this is about sharpening your focus, fine-tuning it, getting really clear. My hand is like a fist because it's like I'm getting very clear. I'm mighty in it. I know it like the back of my hand. I know what I'm doing and why. Then I move. Don't move too quick. With this 10 of Pentacles in the reverse here. Pile number 4. All right. That was your reading, pile number 4. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment below. Give me either a blue heart or a yellow heart. Let me know if the reading resonated with you. That's it, y'all, though, for my reading. Okay. Thanks so much for tuning into my channel. More readings on the way. I have some celebrity readings coming up. One that I'm about to do that I think y'all are really gonna appreciate and like. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Also, I accept tips. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this reading. And yeah, it's your girl Nisi here with Wild Pear Tarot.